preschool friends. So we have a job to do. I want you to think about the videos I've been posting of the seeds that we planted. And we talked about what a plant needs to grow or what a seed needs to grow. And we know there's 4 things. I want you to think about what those might be. 4 things that a plant needs to grow. It needs water, soil, light or sunlight, and air. It needs 4 things to grow. And we did plant some plants downstairs, and you've been getting to watch those grow through video. And now we have pretty good sized plants. So we want to talk about the parts of a plant and what their job is. So your job is to learn the 4 parts of a plant and what their job is. So you can see here I have a plant. Think about what this plant is called. This plant is a flower, but vegetables also have the same parts. So, sorry about that. So there are 4 parts to a plant, whether the plant is a flower or a vegetable or a house plant. They still have basically the same 4 parts. One of those parts we talked about in the plant video, and I let you see it, and that was these right here. Think about if you can remember what these are called. Think. I told you on the video downstairs. If you haven't seen that video yet, you might not know. This is the part of the plant that is under the soil, and it's really hard to see. These are called the roots. So the roots of the plant are in the soil, and roots have 2 jobs. The job of a root is to soak in water and nutrients. Think about what that big science word nutrient means. Nutrient means food. So the roots soak in the water and the nutrients, but they also, second part of their job, they hold the plant in the ground. Plants can't just sit on top of the ground. They would fall over. So we have to have something that goes down into the soil and holds them there so they don't blow away or fall over. And that is the job of the roots. Now, if you remember when our seed sprouted and it was teeny tiny and it was only this big, you only saw this green part right here. Anybody know what that green part of a plant is called, or the green part of a flower or a plant? It's called the stem. So we have the roots and we have the stem, and it's this long part right here. The stem also has 2 jobs. One of the stem's job, does anybody know? Think about it. What job do you think the stem would have? I'm going to tell you. So the stem moves water and nutrients from the roots up to the flower. So the stem is kind of like a straw. The roots suck it up, and then the stem moves it up to the flower part. The stem also holds that plant upright. So the roots are holding it into the ground, and that stem is holding it upright. You know what happens if the stem gets broken? The plant goes, right? The plant will break off. So the stem has 2 important jobs. It takes the water and nutrients from the roots and takes it up into the flower, and it also makes the flower or the plant stand up. The stem is very important. So that leaves 2 parts we haven't talked about. What part are these guys right here? And I bet everybody knows what these are called, but do you know what job they have? So these are the leaves. You guys know that these are the leaves of a flower, and all of our plants downstairs have leaves on them. What job does the leaves have? The leaves take energy from the sun. We're going to say the sun is up here. They take energy from the sun, and they make food for the plant. So the energy, and that's true for trees and plants, flowers, vegetables. The leaves take energy from the sun and make food for the plants. So we had talked in the fall about why the leaves fall off the tree. If you remember, one of the reasons leaves fall off of trees is because the tree is sleeping. It's not eating anymore. It doesn't need the leaf to do its job, so the leaf drops off. And but in the spring, when new plants are growing, and in the summer when they are all grown to their full size, that leaf has a super important job. It soaks in the sun. It turns that sun into actually kind of like a sugar, and it feeds the plant. That's amazing, right? So we've talked about 3 parts of a plant. We've talked about the roots, we've talked about the stem, and we've talked about the leaves. That's 3 parts of the plants, but I told you there were 4. So let's look at this last part. Who knows what this is called? I bet everybody knows what this one is too. This part of a plant is called the flower. Now, some vegetables, before the vegetable starts to grow, it will flower. Apples, apple trees, there's a flower before it's a fruit. Pear trees, cherry blossoms, pumpkins, watermelons, cucumbers, lots of plants are a flower before they become a fruit or a vegetable. So sometimes flowers are just flowers. So the flower has a job too. The flower makes new seeds. So if it's a flower, if this flower, when it dies, here in the middle, there'll be a bunch of seeds. And those seeds will fall off into the ground. And then the next year, if they get the 4 things they need to grow, which is water, soil, air, and sun, when they get those 4 things, a new plant will grow. So the flower's job is to make new seeds. So your job was to learn the 4 parts of a flower. Let's review those so that you can say you do know the 4 parts of a flower: the roots, the leaves, the stem, and the flower. I'm sorry, the 4 parts of a plant: the roots, the leaves, the stem, and the flower. And it was important for you to know what job they had. So roots have 2 jobs. They soak in the water and the nutrients, and they also hold the plant in the ground. The stem has 2 jobs. It moves the soil and nutrients into the flower, and it keeps the flower standing up straight. The leaves have 1 job. They take energy from the sun and make food for the plant. And the flower has 1 job. It makes new seeds. So those seeds fall off into the ground. The seeds get the 4 things we need for a plant to grow. The next thing you know, we have new flowers. So we have been talking about spring and flowers. We talked a little bit about clouds and weather. We've been doing a lot of science work. I hope that this is interesting for you. On Google Classroom, I'm going to post a song and a video to help us learn about the parts of a plant and what their jobs are. All right, preschoolers, I'll talk to you later. Bye.